Greetings folks, and I hope you're floating wherever you are in collecting land. And welcome back to the channel for another episode of Grail or Fail. So for the first timers, Grail or Fail is where we revisit a 1/6 scale action figure widely considered to be a classic and find out if it's still worthy of that Grail status now. So under the microscope today, and to coincide with the release of the TV show Welcome to Derry, which I have to say, although I'm only a couple of episodes in so far, I am pleasantly surprised at how good it is. Yes folks, it's everyone's worst fear. It's Pennywise the Dancing Clown, aka Bill Skarsgard, from the 2019 Andy Muschietti directed sequel It Chapter 2. So, usual format folks, we will get uncomfortably close to the loser's nemesis. Then it's verdict time and we'll be going out with the usual showcase at the end. But before we dive in, I'd like to send a Paul Bunyan-sized shout out to everyone who supported the channel. And please drop a like and hype on this video as it helps other people find Go Figure. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you're not missing any of the 1/6 scale reviews, news, previews, showcases and all that other good stuff that we've got coming up. But enough of my ramblings, let's dive in and find out if Hot Toys Pennywise is a Grail or a fail. Okay folks, so released at the back end of 2021, front end of 2022, let's get up close and personal with Hot Toys' take on Pennywise. Now, obviously I can't give first impressions on this figure. I had it since its release, but I've got to say I still think it is a very, very imposing figure. I think proportionally absolutely on point. Loving that outfit, the head sculpts we will get to. The colours are right, the screen accuracy is there, multiple accessories that we'll cover, and that wonderful diorama base. So yeah, I still think it displays amazingly well this, and if you're a fan of it, then is it a must-have though? Is it a Grail? Well, let's find out. Let's start with that base first. That wonderful diorama base that Hot Toys gave us. Let's remove Pennywise. He's freestanding at the moment. There is a flight pole with this particular figure, a dynamic flight pole, but removed it for the purposes of this video. And take a look at this fantastic base that they gave us here. Now, all sculpted plastic, this base. It comes in a couple of pieces, but we'll explain how that works. The base itself, just circular. You've got this nameplate on the front here. No metal or anything like that, but it's done in this slightly rougher texture. It says It Chapter 2 and looks really, really good. You swing it round the back here, and you've got this sort of pavement section going on here. This storm drain from the movie itself, well actually from the first movie, so yeah, a little bit of license taken here by Hot Toys, but yeah, as you can see, Pennywise lurking in the storm drain itself, but we'll get to that. What you've got at the front here is what I think is a resin material designed to replicate the water, the rainwater running off into the drain itself. Then you've got this section on the top here, designed to look like a curb. You've got these sort of curbstones going on. Paint applications really nicely done, flecked with greys and whites to give it more depth. And then on top of that, you've got this turf, this sort of artificial turf, sculpted plastic, lovely deep green colour, lots of tone and texture in there. And overall, I think this is a cracking little diorama base that Hot Toys have given us here. It does add a lot of height to the Pennywise figure if you're using this in your display, so you're going to need some height in there if you're wanting to use it, but overall I think it's great, and it has its little party piece. Now if I can do this with one hand, which is not the easiest thing in the world, we might have to cut here. Yeah, let's cut to removed section. Okay, so removable section of diorama base suitably loosened so we can get access to it, and it's relatively straightforward once it's been loosened. This whole section here comes away. It's got 4 pegs on the bottom, and they peg directly into the bottom part of the base itself in those 4 holes there that you can see. and you get a close-up look at this wonderful turf that Hot Toys have given us here. So once you remove that section, you reveal the second of the two head sculpts. Now, I think this was a cracking idea from Hot Toys here. Not only does it provide storage for this head sculpt, but it sets off the diorama beautifully with the monster head sculpt peeping through the storm drain, or you can have the normal head sculpt in there, depending on which one's on the figure itself. And I've got to say, this head sculpt is absolutely phenomenal. I think it's on a par with the non-monster head sculpt that we'll take a look at as well. Paint applications are excellent. Those teeth are gruesome. That mouth is really, really well done with the ivory type paint applications and the yellowing going on there. There's wet look in there in the paint applications. The way the teeth protrude out is suitably menacing and screen accurate. A very heavy head sculpt, this one as well, due to the sculpted hair. The proportions are on point. You've got that cracked effect going on up towards the hairline there. The eyes are suitably glassy. We'll rest him on this base here so you can get a close-up look at this. Those red lines going up the sides of the mouth there, which continue up to the eyes, once again screen accurate. Beautifully glassy eyes there, and the right colour with that dark makeup around the edges. And the hair itself, I think, is really, really well done on this piece. The colour is right, the style is right. That wave of the back hair there, I'll say, makes for a heavy sculpt this, because he's got a lot of hair going on. Yeah, that's the second of the two head sculpts, the monster head sculpt, and a cracking head sculpt it is too. So, but while we're on swap out bits and pieces, let's talk accessories, because you do get a raft of stuff with this figure. Let's zip on over to the accessories. Hands, multiple swap out hands, as you'd come to expect from Hot Toys, and very, very well done they are too. Let's grab a couple at random. That's the pointy finger hand. Lots of different gestures going on there. You've got fisted hands, gripping hands for the other accessories as well. But paint and sculpt, very, very good, as we've come to expect from Hot Toys. To give it that sort of white gloved-like look, you've got sculpted in creases. You've got stitch work in there. There's a slight weathering to them. They're not all perfectly white, which is great to see. But overall, yeah, very, very nicely sculpted, very, very nicely painted. The palms there, you can see the creasing going on in the weathering as well. So yeah, the gloved hands really, really nice. And as an added bonus, you also get a couple of monster hands as well. And the sculpting and painting here, once again, up to the same standards. More weathering on these monster hands, as you can see. There's more browns involved in there. The whites have been dirtied up even more. There are rips on the backs of the hands and on the palms as well, and you've got that black monster flesh poking through. What really strikes me about these swap out hands is the talons on the end of the fingers there. They're brown and shiny, and the gradiated paintwork there, if the camera's catching this, leading up to the tips of the fingernails themselves, just really, really nicely done. And you get a pair of those as well. You also get, if we are talking hands, or limbs rather, is this rather gruesome severed arm. And I think Hot Toys have done a cracking job here. It is very, very well done. Skin tones and textures, very nicely done. Creasing, as with the gloves in the palms of the hands there. You've got sculpted in creasing on the knuckles there, and fingernails. But obviously what sets this apart is the wounds. You've got wounds in the palms of the hands there, and on the fingers, on the back of the hand, and running up to the wrist area. And they've been done in that super high gloss blood paint effect, which looks wet and grisly and nasty. But probably the crowning the crowning glory of this is the grossness of the actual stump itself. Really horrific, this. Really nicely done. You've got torn flesh going on there, more of that wet look blood paint app, and then you've got grisly, gnarly flesh underneath there where the arm's been amputated. Only gripe here is, where the hell is the bone? There's no bones in there. Was this poor individual deboned before his arm was amputated? Who knows? But overall, yeah, a cracking little accessory, and there's a gripping hand in there, so you can have him holding the severed arm as well. You also get Georgie's little paper bow, nicely done here, sculpted plastic. It's been given a high gloss paint application there just to give it that waxed look that it had in the film, and it says SS Georgie if the camera's picking this up on the side. You also get the skateboard as well, sculpted plastic, very nicely done as well. Moving casters on here, moving wheels that are covered in blood, and obviously I'll flip this around so you can read this. On the bottom it says in blood as well, won't be there for him either. So yeah, nice bit of work going on here from Hot Toys in the accessories department, and it's covered in grip tape as well for us old skateboarders. So yeah, that's the skateboard. You also get, and it's the gift that keeps giving, accessories wise, this figure, you get the little Pennywise in a box, the Jack in the box. Sculpted plastic, comes in two pieces. I will just put this down so we can see how this works. The little Pennywise doll itself can come out, and this is really nicely done. It's more weathered, darker greys here going on than the figure itself, but you've got paint applications on the head there to give it that Pennywise look, and it is suitably scary. And the little box that it comes in, if you don't want to display it with it popping out, you can close the lid on that plastic sculpted box as well. On the front, you've got a stylized picture of Pennywise. There is a handle around the side, and you've got those 5 stars on the top as well to finish it off. So yeah, as I say, accessories here are really on point. So I think we should bring out the Dancing Clown himself and get him back on this spectacular diorama. Okay, so back on the stand, and let's get up close, uncomfortably close to Pennywise the Dancing Clown. Let's start at the bottom and work our way up as we always do, but let's just take in those proportions. Very good, and that outfit, excellent. But yeah, let's start with those oversized clown shoes. And gotta say, very well done. They are sculpted plastic, they are oversized as they are meant to be. That style is just right with those sort of almost like batwing effect coming down the sides towards the soles there. Let's spin this around a little bit so you can see those in more detail. You've got the red pom-pom on the top there. That's done in material, which is great to see rather than sculpted plastic. And there's weathering on there as well. They're dirtied up a little bit, so they're not super clean. Overall, very nicely done and very screen accurate, and that pattern's continued all the way around the back. Up to the outfit, the all-important outfit. Now, the outfit itself is done in certain areas. It feels like cotton. I've got to be honest, I think pretty much overall the entire figure, this outfit is done in cotton, but there are contrasting tones of grey going on. As you can see there, the sort of the pantaloon section is a slightly lighter grey to the body section, but we'll start with these bindings around the legs, and I've got to say, really well done. Stitch work is excellent. There are no threads hanging down there. The scale of the stitch work itself is absolutely on point. You've got these sort of flared rough type sections at the bottom, and underneath those rough you've got this different type of material, more of a lacy material. I think it's done in a cotton, but it sets off the figure perfectly, gives you that layered effect and that screen accuracy. Around the ankles there, you have got material straps. They're done in 2 tones of red and grey, with these little plastic baubles on the end there. Once again, screen accurate and on point. Articulation on this figure, I'm not going to attempt to do that with one hand, but suffice it to say, the articulation is what you come to expect from a Hot Toys figure. You've got bends at the knees there, posable feet. The waist, you can bend forwards and backwards. There's a twist at the waist there. The legs will move offered at angles, and you can basically go for all those dynamic poses with that dynamic flight pole that you've got there. So if you're wanting in mid-air or dancing on one leg, that's a popular pose, I think, with one leg raised and one leg out. Yeah, articulation very good, as we've come to expect from Hot Toys, and that continues up into the shoulder area, the elbows and the hands as well, and obviously the neck too. Up to the pantaloon section. Now there is some weathering going on here. It is quite subtle, and I do remember when this figure was initially released, a lot of people weren't happy with the weathering here. They said it wasn't heavy enough. To me, it's not an issue. I suppose it all depends on which part of the film you're trying to replicate. It does seem come off as slightly cleaner in the opening sections of the film and gets dirtier and more unpleasant as the film goes on. But yeah, there is weathering here, as you can see around the sort of the skirted section of this upper body garment. There's weathering on the edges here. As I say, quite subtle though, but once again, stitch work impeccable. That same sort of strapping effect that we see around the ankles is continued in that waist section there, and then you've got the 3 red pom-poms up the centre there. Now, caused a bit of controversy this as well, the spacing on these now, and the size of them as well. Now they're the same material as the pom-poms that you get on the shoes, and I think that looks great. Mine do look a little bit like they're not evenly spaced. Now whether they are evenly spaced, I have to refer back to the film. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. It's been a little while since I've seen chapter 2, as I'm concentrating on Welcome to Derry at the moment. But yeah, those pom-poms look the right size if the spacing is slightly off there. Stitch work once again in that upper body is absolutely excellent. Onto the arms now. The ruffs at the top of the arms are really nicely done, suitably puffy and sticking out. There's nothing under there. It feels like there's another layer of material just to give it that bounce. But overall, yeah, the cotton is of the same quality as the rest of the outfit. Coming down the arms, you've got those same coloured ties that you see at the waist and the ankles, holding the outfit in just above the elbow there. And once again, you've got the layering going on into the wrist section. That layering underneath there of that more translucent material, that feels more like a nylon material than a cotton, but it could be a cotton. Difficult to tell. But yeah, once again, it gives it that layered effect. That's the gripping hand holding the severed arm that we talked about. Moving on to this ruff now. The ruff itself, I have done a little bit of work to, and once again, it was one of those areas that caused a little bit of controversy. It was a little bit too high for me straight out of the box, and it was showing there wasn't quite enough neck. Well, so what I did was I actually removed, and there is. It was stitched in, this ruff, all the way into the neck. Now that could either make it go too flat or stick up too much. So I removed that stitch work. So I can really play around with this. I can have it riding high, and it's just a case of lifting those layers up, or I can flatten it down and show more of that neck area. But the way he is at the moment is just about right for me. You also get the balloon, the red balloon. Now, this is on a piece of wire that's been coated with what looks like a man-made material, like a nylon or almost like a string type material that goes up to this sculpted plastic red balloon at the top, and then it's gripped in this hand by this thumb and forefinger hand that meet at the tips of the fingers. And then there's a little slot there, if the camera's catching that, that the string slots through. Obviously, it's rigid, so it should hold its own weight. One of the only niggles I have with this piece, actually, is that the plastic used in the hands here is it's a medium to soft. So, yeah, it's great for gripping accessories, but not so good when you've got a tiny little hole there that this string pops through. And over time, that hole works itself loose, it becomes larger, and what you've got here, well, unfortunately, is this currently this balloon won't hold its weight. So Mr. Go Figure is still working on a solution. I'd much rather see, and I'll see if I can do this with one hand, I'd much rather see this balloon higher up, because that's more screen accurate for me, and I'm just doing this very, very carefully. But as you can see, the weight of the balloon itself, once I get this higher, and because of the nature of that tiny little bit of plastic holding it in place, it tends to flop off to one side or the other. But that's yeah, one of the very few niggles I have with this piece. Let's take a quick look around the back so you can just see the detailing here. I've removed the waist grabber, and it does come with a waist grabber. It's one of those felt line waist grabbers that we know and love from Hot Toys, so you're not likely to damage this beautiful outfit. That quality of stitch work is continued around the back there, and in that layered section that runs down the spinal area. And overall, yeah, just exceptional stitch work, exceptional high quality of material as well. I think they've done a cracking job here, Hot Toys. Onto the icing on the cake, the cherry on the cake as well, the non-monster head sculpt. Now, where to begin with this? This is my preferred way of displaying him. I do like the monster head sculpt, don't get me wrong, but I think this one is absolutely excellent. Is it perfect? No, I think what is perfect, I mean, you could break this down, and there are some minor areas there that maybe aren't quite 100% screen accurate, but is it Bill Skarsgard? Absolutely. Is it Pennywise? Absolutely. And I think it's excellent. This time round, no protruding teeth, but they've caught the shape of that mouth beautifully there with that lower lip hanging down, which one of Mr. Skarsgard's party pieces there, that thing that he can do with his mouth and his eyes, and they've captured that beautifully here. Suitably menacing, suitably creepy. The clown makeup, the white makeup itself, very, very well done. Covers the entire face. The red nose on point. Those visible teeth, really nicely done, really well sculpted and painted to give them that sort of ivory type effect. The cracking on the forehead here. Now, yeah, there was some discussion about the extent of that cracking and how it and how clearly defined it is. Maybe it's not quite as defined into the hairline as it was in the movie itself, but overall, I think the effect is absolutely stunning. Eyes absolutely on point here. Really, really on point. Slightly off if the camera's catching this. Not perfectly aligned, and that's great to see. Super glassy, the right colour. The fact that it's my left, it's our left, but it's his right eye, is not quite in line with the right eye. I think just gives it that added depth and that added spooky quality that Mr. Skarsgard brought to the role. So overall, yeah, a cracking head sculpt. And the hair, once again, the same as the monster head sculpt. Individual strands picked out. The colour is great. The style is right. So that is the head sculpt. So I think what we need to do now is go in for a final decision on Pennywise and find out if he is a Grail or a fail. Okay folks, so look swapped out and the jury is back in. So is Hot Toys' take on Pennywise a Grail or a fail? Well, let's stop him from spinning and talk about the good stuff. Where to begin? There is so much of it. Let's start with that base. I do love this diorama base. I think it's a great concept, really, really well executed by Hot Toys. You've got that turf on the top there, you've got this water effect with the blood trickling into the storm drain. Overall, a brilliant, brilliant idea. And the cherry on the cake here is the storage space for the head sculpt that you're not using. Having him peeking out from the storm drain itself, brilliant idea. Whoever came up with that idea over at Hot Toys when they were concepting this idea, chef's kiss. It's the little touches like that I think really, really make this figure. And you get the dynamic flight pole as well, so you can go for all manner of crazy, outrageous and menacing poses with this guy. And the body is up to the job as well. The articulation is really, really good. So the body they've used, excellent. Let's talk about this outfit. I think they've done a cracking job with the outfit. The fit, the finish, the colour, the screen accuracy is there, the proportions in the body itself. From those oversized clown shoes with the pom-poms on them to the bindings, and the whole outfit just works. You could argue that Hot Toys could have gone a little bit heavier on the weathering, I suppose, for the sewer dweller. I know a lot of people actually applied a heavier weathering to this when they got it, but I like it as it is. I think it works really well. And I think the colours are right, the screen accuracy is there. The ruffs around the neck, yes, you could argue a minor niggle there that they need a little bit of futzing straight out of the box, but it's not a major issue. But overall, the body and the outfit on point as far as I'm concerned. Let's talk head sculpts. Those head sculpts, absolutely excellent, both of them. The monster head sculpt and the smiling head sculpt, unmistakably Skarsgard, unmistakably Pennywise. Paint applications and sculpt are great, from the hair to that white face paint. The eyes are super glassy, you've got those red streaks running up. They've caught the grin on the non-monster head sculpt of Mr. Skarsgard perfectly. The bared teeth on this one, beautifully painted. Got that wet look to them, and overall, two cracking head sculpts. If you were to argue and niggle, maybe the cracking on the forehead area of the head sculpt is a little on the soft side and not 100% screen accurate, but that is a minor niggle. Let's talk accessories. Accessories, absolutely excellent. Everything from the skateboard to the severed arm to the jack in the box. Absolutely on point as well. I suppose the only real niggle I've got accessories wise will be that balloon that we talked about with the hard plastic balloon on the top there, and then this firm wire. The hand itself and the gripping solution, shall we say, is not the best in the world because of the softness of the plastic. If he's holding this balloon up, as we mentioned before, it can have a tendency to fall off at an angle there, but that's a relatively easy fix that Mr. Go-Figure just hasn't got round to yet. So yeah, those are the niggles, and very minor they are too. I think what Hot Toys have given us here is a phenomenal representation of Mr. Skarsgard as Pennywise. And you know where this is going, folks. This, in my opinion, is a Grail. Absolutely nailed on, 100% Grail. Never had the in-art take on this in hand, but this is all about the Hot Toys version. And yet, for me, this is a nailed on Grail, 100%. But what are your thoughts on this piece? Am I getting this wrong? Is this not as good as I think it is? Let me know in the comment section below. What's your take on the figure? What's your take on Hot Toys? What's your take on either of the two movies or the earlier incarnation of Pennywise? As I mentioned, nothing off menu, so please drop that comment in the comment section below. And I suppose all it remains for me to say, oh, almost forgot what's coming up on the channel. Well, we've got bags more episodes of Grail or Fail. We've got more new figure reviews from companies like Hot Toys, InArt, Susu Toys, Present Toys, Caustic Plastic, X06, Iconic Studios, the list goes on. We've got more retro reviews, we've got more showcases, we've got more previews. So as I mentioned at the top there, be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you're not missing any of the good stuff when it comes up on the channel. So I suppose all it remains for me to say, as always, is a massive thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves from myself and from Pennywise the Dancing Clown. Until next time on the channel, happy collecting, and it's over to the showcase.